welcome to the meeting of Council Town Council. Just a few matters before we start. If the fire alarm goes off, it's not a drill. Please exit through the doors behind us over there or through the doors that you came through before. Okay, agenda item 25.18.1 is to apologies for absence.
We've received apologies from Councillor Peter Moore and Wendy Fogarty.
Thank you. Can we vote accept those, please? I'll propose we accept. Can I have a seconder? All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 25.18.2 is to note declarations of interest and request for dispensation to discuss and vote on a matter in which a member or co-opted member has a disposable pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest. Does that apply to any councillor here?
No, Chair.
No. Okay, thank you. And before agenda item 25.18.3.
You do. Sorry, sir.
Sorry?
You do have a pecuniary interest.
Do I?
You do. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Yeah. On the order of payment.
CCTV.
Yeah, on the order of payment.
I thought that was last month.
No, there's another bill this month.
Oh,
Sorry.
right, okay.
Sorry.
I'll abstain for that from that one.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for pointing it out. A very warm welcome to Councillor Chapman. Very nice to see you here after all these months. It's lovely to see you back. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Yeah. Agenda item 25.18.3 is the open forum where with comments and questions concerning any item on the agenda that can be put to the council by the public during this period. Matters which in the chair's view require debate and or discussion will be referred to the next committee or council meeting as appropriate. Items not pertaining to the agenda may also be taken at this time at the chair's discretion. The public forum is restricted to 15 minutes and strictly 3 minutes per person unless the chair allows otherwise. Do we have any questions on the agenda from any members of the public?
I'd just like to say the playground near our house is in very bad disrepair.
Which playground are you referring to? Parsonage, yes.
And it just seems like nothing's being done with it. Like, there's nothing there to make sure no one's damaging anything or like there isn't anything really there. There's only like 3 things that you can go on safely.
Okay, I take on board your comments and would just say that I have some plans which will be brought to the council in September, October time, and hopefully we can address some of the issues. I can't promise, it depends on the council.
Chair?
Yeah.
We are actively trying to get the answer version of Cheshire East to provide some sort of parts equipment for passengers.
Okay.
It's a very long and difficult.
I know. Anything else from members of the public?
Just the parking issues on St. Giles Road, people hanging out their own drives. I've raised it with the local MD, she's took it up the highways, and they won't do anything about it. And it's just that we just got to suck it up.
And I'm afraid it's not going to get any better because the cycle way is due to start to be done on the beginning of August, probably the second week in August. And that road will be not accessible anymore for any of those. Something like 40 cars parked there, don't they? I'm assuming that they will all disappear onto Dean Drive. I don't know. I did bring it up, as you will hear in my chair's report in a little while, that this is going to be a major issue, but I'm afraid it's falling on deaf ears. And I think,
You know, Beauty Road, that's got double yellows, so they must have done something at some point to be able to get that. But it's like we have to pay the council to come and put a white line outside our house when the council are causing problems to us, and they try and get money out of us to put a white line.
I believe, am I right, Councillor Smith, that the council will no longer put double yellow lines in residential areas?
The have a view on that they don't actually like double yellows on residential areas. on residential streets.
Well, even just put the white line, you know, why can't the council
Yeah,
pay
the
to put the
HVAC.
white line? Why do we have to pay the council? to
I mean, the
come in?
H-bar,
Yeah,
that's because, they've, as
like
people,
drivers.
You can't, it's only enforceable by us with the HMR. So if someone stops, if somebody parks over a drop curb and they stop you getting out of your property,
Yeah.
then you can get the car removed. If
Okay.
you park over a drop curb and stop you getting into your property, you can't do anything about it. If the HMR's there, you know what to do.
Right, so
regarding the beautiful road that you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's not wide enough
Just
to have.
reiterate that, so if you
Yeah.
can't get into your property, you can't do anything about it, but if you can't get out, you can. That's a bit mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can access it by a foot, you can get in, well, if you can't get out, then it's by a
Wow.
Can I continue?
Yeah.
Yeah, regarding Beaker Road, you have to know how wide it is. If there weren't double yellows all on there, if people parked, cars wouldn't get through.
Yeah.
Men wouldn't get through, ambulances, fire engines, they wouldn't get through. That's why it's double yellow.
But I mean, I picked up a dead cat outside my house the other day. Someone had run over at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, and it was that close, the cat's eye popped out. Luckily, my children weren't with me to see that, but, you know, it's because it's literally one lane, people are speeding down Seagull, and one day it's going to be a child. You know, it's not going to be a cat that's going to be knocked over on the road, it is going to be a child, because, you know, there's just no sight. I pull out my drive, I can't see it, you literally have to just go for it, you know, because there's cars outside, I've got no sight line. I'm opposite the link, I've got 3 cars, freeway traffic coming at me, and you've just got to take a risk. And it's just like, nobody, you know, why can't councils come put a white line? Why do I have to pay the council to come put a white line?
And that's always been the case. It's not something new.
No, I understand that, but it's not fair and reasonable, is it?
Just a quick question, if the residents put a white line in privately, could they claim it back off the council at a later date?
I don't think so, because I know somebody
In the
had
legal
to
act, I think.
put it in
I was
his.
told to remove it because they didn't use the Cheshire East material.
It's just another way of making money.
Perhaps we should put the speeding thing on the road
Yeah,
to
yeah,
try and
yeah, we can do that.
drivers more aware.
Aware of it.
There's not a great deal we can do about it, but as regards of monitoring, once these roadworks start, we'll try and raise it as much as we possibly can and get highways down. But they are parked perfectly legally, that's the problem. You know, and I did mention it, you'll hear in my report, I won't go over it now, you'll hear it later, but I'm afraid it's falling on deaf ears. Anyway, there we are, I'm so sorry. Anybody else?
You were present at the planning committee meeting, were you not?
Yes.
So you heard that we were critical of Segar's Road and the parking problem during discussion of the planning application for Noel House, yes.
It's just a problem generally now,
Yeah.
anyway, and, you know, that's
Yeah.
just going to make it even worse, isn't it?
Okay, there's nobody else, and, sorry, go on.
Can I bring something up as a non-member of the public?
As a non-member of the public.
Well, I am a member of the public, I'm also a councillor. Yeah, remove this. I've been talking with Ashley about a tree on the green over there that has been, in my opinion, dangerous for a number of years. It's become very top heavy, very wide, it's very big, and as Ashley's aware, a lot of the trees down that road have snapped, broken, go further afield, people in Wilmslow have been killed by trees falling, and I've taken it upon myself to get a quote for this, and Ashley's going to help me approach Cheshire East for them to pay for the tree to be cut. It's 500 quid.
Pollarded.
Yeah, really chopped back to make it safe. Yeah. It's going to be 500 quid. I've had a quote done. If Cheshire East, which unsurprisingly will probably deny any responsibility for it, am I allowed to pay that myself? Am I allowed to?
Can I just ask, have you reported on Fix My Street?
4 times.
We've been out, I've sent an arboriculturist. They've had a look at the tree and they go, tree's safe.
inspection another 2 years. I'll let go item for the inspection report and see how it compares to your tree surgeon's
Yeah.
report.
Well, then I think we should put the two together and send them to Jim.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
object to what's being put forward. You've had somebody come out, look at it, and they're saying something else. The same thing has happened with the tree at the bottom of our next door neighbours. It's been dead for about 7 or 8 years, and it looks as though it might fall over. So they've got it on the list, but it could be any time in the next 2 years.
Yeah, well, I'm quite happy to pay for it.
Well, I don't think you should.
Well, I don't think I
Because
should,
it's
but
setting a very dangerous
but-
precedent.
but I'd rather have the tree cut than it end up through the back of my house, take out the 2 kids' bedrooms, take out half the roof off, because it's a big bugger. It's massive, and it's getting bigger every year.
Trees at the bottom of my
Yeah.
garden as
Yeah,
well,
if
so
it's
I know
going
where
to
you're coming
affect your
from.
home though, I would, do you know what I mean? I
Well-
Well, the tree is actually leaning.
Is it?
It's in the footpath, and it's leaning, and it's a massive tree. And you know,
Unfortunately, all the poor weather we have, we get these extremes of temperature, and then suddenly you get all this rainfall. It just doesn't help.
well, the wind is the biggest worry when the wind starts
I think
picking
the
up.
first protocol is to send the 2 reports, and ask Cheshire why aren't they on looking at the.
Well, Ash is going to help me with that. But what I want to know is, come October, because I've got a tree surgeon booked in to do other work at my house, can I get him to do it?
Yes.
Is it on your land?
No, it's on Cheshire
It's on
East land.
highways land, but can you pay for it?
Don't do it.
They're not
So you've got a
stopping.
TPO on it?
Wouldn't ask.
No,
No.
it just needs.
Yeah, you can
The
do.
definitive
Yeah.
answer comes from the responsible officer, but not me.
Yeah.
But
Won't stop you.
what I mean,
Won't stop you, I'll come back at you anyway.
most people are aware of my next door neighbour, and if he gets wind of me chopping a council tree down, it'll be all over the news, you know.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
I
can
just
we
want
move
to
on,
avoid
please?
that.
Yes, the responsible officer has said.
So I can my tree surgeon can do it in
If
October
you pay for it, yeah.
if I pay
Yeah,
for it.
You haven't told yourself we don't want to know, it's your business.
Yeah, but you know, it's
Right, can
me
we move on,
cutting a
please?
council tree down.
Agenda item 2518, sorry,
There's a question.
sorry.
Is there any updates, what's happening about the parking on Romsey Road, going down towards the garden centre?
Past Stratton's.
I will cover that in my chairman's report.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay, then you can ask me any questions
A
there.
scare on the bus going, and we had to go right over to the central reservation, was nearly going in the garden centre. And it's getting ridiculous now.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you some answers when I come to that point. Can we move on? Okay, agenda item 2518.4 is to approve and sign the minutes of the Hampthorne Town Council meeting of the 10th of June. Does anybody have any issues with those meetings, those minutes? Councillor Swan.
Just a query, Chair. Has there been any update on item 2515.3, which relates to the conversion of a park into Valley Village Gardens? We were awaiting permission, as I recall, from Cheshire East
Can I refer
Council.
you, I'll be talking about it in my chair's report.
That's fine, thank you. Yeah,
That's it?
I believe
Councillor
so.
Smith.
Yeah, just a quick question. Councillor Small is extremely nitpicky in a good way. He does it and he's very good at it. Can I make a suggestion? Because at the previous meeting, the planning meeting, where he finds errors, typos, etc. Would it be possible perhaps to list those and send them to Ashley the week before? And then it doesn't have to take up
It would, and I've done that
meeting's
in the past, haven't I?
Yeah, do that. Do that.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
perfectly
agree.
sensible.
Take your point, John.
No offence.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so can I have a proposal that we accept those minutes, please? Councillor Small, can I have a seconder? Councillor Smith, all those in favour?
2 was actually here at the last meeting.
I
You
was.
were.
That was your,
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in favour.
okay. But those were people who were present.
They were just, yeah, they were the ones that were present at the
Minutes.
meeting, yeah.
Thank you. Agenda item 2518.5 is to approve and sign the order of payments for July and August 2025. Does anybody have any issues with those? If so, please address them to the Chair of Finance.
Yes, so if you want to take this item.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As far as I am concerned, the annual accounts have been posted off and accepted, hopefully by now. Thank you, Ashley, for that. Also, the latest quarterly return has been completed and everything is fine. However, there is one thing that I would like to ask, is that if you want to go in and see Ashley, can you please give him a ring first? Because I know sometimes his workload can be a bit overbearing because he's had a lot of visitors. And I have suggested that he gets a visitor's book, and if somebody wants to visit, put the name in, the dates are available, unless, of course, it's urgent. And then you've got the chair of our council, we've got ward councillors as well that may be able to help, rather than fill his day up with trying to sort out small problems. Is that okay?
Yeah,
I think that's a very sensible solution, a suggestion.
We perhaps contact him by email and say, look, we need to discuss this at some stage.
Yeah. Any way of
Not immediate.
communication? No, unless it's urgent and you need to speak to him face to face.
I
would suggest that we do have either an appointment system or at least a telephone to see if he's free. Because I know this week a whole morning was taken up.
Yeah, okay, thank you, point taken. I have to say that I never come in to Ashley without arranging it first to find out the most convenient time. So if other councillors would do the same, then that would be very helpful. Did we, or no, we haven't voted on this yet.
No.
So can I have somebody, unless anybody else has got questions?
Just a comment which relates to the point I made just previously. The Valley Village Gardens amount is listed as £1,000. Is that pending, or has that actually been paid out?
It's pending.
It's pending. Thank you.
Any further questions? Okay, may I have a proposal then to approve and sign the order of payments? Thank you, Councillor Smith, seconder. Councillor Small, all those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 25.18.6 is to receive a report from our, I'm happy to say, back PCSO. Gareth, thank you very much. Welcome back. It's lovely to see your face.
Thank you.
With his new haircut.
Just about got around everyone, seen everyone, talked with everyone, found out the gossip, what I've missed out on in 6 months. What I will say is, just for those to report, the one thing I definitely did miss out on is every single person that went said it was absolutely amazing, is the VE celebrations. It was, honestly, cannot say how many people have said, why weren't you there? And just confidence. It was, amazing. And I'm accumulating, but it's, it was, everyone said it was just absolutely fantastic. So, since we've been back, since the last meeting, I know the reports have been different. So, just to add a bit more detail in, we've had, since the last meeting, we've had 2 burglaries in the village. One was on Ullswater Road, which ties in with quite a few suspicious incidents we've had involving off-road bikes, and you can see for a 4x4 Mercedes as well. We've managed to get the rest of the reg for that Mercedes, so there's further inquiries going on with that. And we think that the mopeds and off-road bikes that we've had reported to us match with similar ones that have had reports in Cheadle and Stockport, so we're working with Manchester to see what we can do about ID drivers. It says on the report, theft of motor vehicles, we've had 1. We've actually had more than 1, but the numbers are slightly skewed because it's people walking out the wrong door and forth. Walk in through the main entrance, go into M&S and walk out of M&S. I think it's part So the numbers were absolutely eye-watering, but it turns out there's one vehicle go, and it was a van hit near road, which is an annoying slight concern in the last 12, 18 months, because in the entire time I've been here, I can count on one hand the amount of cars we've had go off Stafford, and that number's gone up quite considerably in the last 18 months compared to what. Shoplifting at Hamforth is still a major concern. We know, again, it's underreported in town. We know there's issues at Spa. We know Tesco's have their own issues, and that brings in an element to the village that we don't want. So as much as the reports are high at Hamforth, they don't pay attention in the village as well. We're trying to get extra staff to do that. Speaking of extra staff, I know there's been a lot mentioned about, I don't remember. There's extra staff, government funding for neighbourhood policing. We've been the beneficiary of that. We being Winslow. We've had an extra PC assigned to the neighbourhood team. So is Macclesfield, so is Knutsford, so we're not just spreading thin. And what it means is we end up with an extra body on the team. So if we do have issues in a particular area, Hamforth or anywhere else in Winslow, we can have an extra number of staff to do with that, not just myself and on the report, it says about the couple of violent incidents, one of which being the male with the hammer. A social media post that went out for ID for that male, which also circulated on our facial recognition system. And some positive updates in relation to that. Can't go into more details because it's still under investigation. The concern for safety, the bottom one on the report is a male who was trying to, or threatening to throw himself off the train. That also ties in with one of the violent incidents, because when he found out he was being arrested, he threw himself on the train. He's fine, he was taken to custody safely well, and he didn't throw himself on the train. For those of you that have heard about the incident at Poynton Station, it's obviously a very close with ourselves with that. Again, I can't go into any more details, but that will all come out in the inquiry. We, as in officers that attended and dealt with it over the days after, haven't been told a great deal of that's being dealt with by RCM. So I don't imagine more on that at the moment. The only thing I'll add is I had to hit the ground running with it, or I've had to hit the ground running with it, but we will still be putting on summer activities for the youth. I'm trying with my new parent couple to try and find something to try and tie in babies, infants as well, just so we can get a nice big demographic, rather than just hit our potential problem ASD. We or I will be asking onwards to money for it rather than themselves, because so it's the one thing I know I have. So that's hopefully where the funding will come from there onwards, rather than me begging them to Ashley.
If you don't get it from onward, would you come back to the council, because we do have a.
Oh, absolutely, I'm not proud, absolutely. I'm calling back hands in that. But they have been good the last 3 years. 3 years we've got money from the voters, the last 2.
Yeah. We'll just keep it generally.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Question, anybody?
Just a couple.
Yeah.
It's always better when you're here,
Yes.
because you relate to what's going on out there. Whilst I've been reading these in your absence, it's been a little bit farcical. And just noting from your comments on this, there was no mention of any of the 11 violence things, apart from the one involved a male hit with a hammer, Greg's, which we know about. 9 of these incidents were only threats of violence. Were the police called? What was the results from it? Where were they? What happened?
So with any of the reports, if on the report,
Yeah.
the police were called.
Yeah.
With any threat of violence, we will have attended.
Okay.
Yeah, we have attended. when it's threats, it can be anything from over the phone, in person, 200 yards away. If it is verbal, if there's a threat of violence, it still goes down as violence. So quite regularly, our violent offences will absolutely be horrendous. And it can be as, still not pleasant experience, it can be as much as harsh words in the heat of the moment, it will still go down as violence if someone is at fear.
So what is the outcome of these 9 incidents were only threats of violence? 6 were spoken to, 7 were spoken to, none were spoken to?
All were spoken, at the very least, all were spoken to.
Yeah, and resolved?
2 were linked to ongoing domestics, but this wasn't classed as domestic just because of who the threats were linked to. 2 were arrested and 1 came in court and the agency, so it's an official one. Of the 9 of the.
But it'd be interesting to know that the 9 threats of violence were dealt with by these measures. 1 person was warned, 1 person was this, 3 people have apologised, 4 people have carried on the argument that's going to appear in next month's statement. And there's two incidents that were mental health related. There's always in this report reports of mental health related issues. Is it the same people that are doing it? Is there a
sometimes and when I can, I go into these were linked or this was all the same person individual. Obviously, as much as I want to give you the detail, I've obviously forgotten something very much. Data protection issues as well. With anything mental health related, or if I'm most of the issues we deal with, some of anything mental health related, we put in what's called a DPA, it's a vulnerable persons assessment. So that might be mental health, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be young people involved. A report has to go Cheshire, the correct service is made aware, and then we can if that's finding offenders, anything at all. And so the reports always go the same with domestics as well. We always put vulnerable persons assessment.
Yeah. And just another thing, shoplifting, 8, all from Hanforth Dean. Did you catch the people? Were the people handed to you? Or did they get away with it?
I'll go into more detail in other reports.
Yeah.
It's off my head. I know there was one very good outcome, but yes, I can go into some more detail in future reports.
Because, reports of missing people, 1 returned safe and well. What was the time differential? Did they go out the front door and 5 minutes later they turned back up again? Or was it days, weeks,
Can I just interject there, because I think you're asking for details which we shouldn't be party to.
Well, should we really be party to a lot of this?
Yeah,
there's a lot of this that we shouldn't be party to.
I think the PCSO could just put on there, all of these things were resolved. I don't think we need to know individual things, and I think you're treading in GDPR dangerous areas here.
Not really.
We'd
I'm
like,
just looking for facts.
Because there are certain things that Gareth can't disclose.
Oh, I know he can't. He can't disclose names or incidents.
Yes, all these were resolved. Just something to say they were caught or.
That's what.
Police, to use a bit of jargon.
Yeah.
If there's a positive outcome, then yes, I will go into some of the detail. The only thing I will say with the report is, everyone, this is fine for me to do this report. It is me in an office typing away searching into the systems. We want to be doing that rather than.
Just a little bit more information, a little bit more practical information for us looking at it. Shoplifting 8, all from Hanforth Dean, tells me that nobody's been caught, nobody's done anything, they've all got away with it, and it doesn't tell me anything. If it was shoplifting 8, all from Hanforth Dean, 6 apprehended, 5 charged.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we know.
We've got the message that if we can put some more information in there, if you can't, then we understand. Yeah. I think that's the fairest way to conclude that. Did you have something to?
I was just going to say, we did speak to the woman police officer who stood in for you, we never saw her. It was all done by, she didn't turn
No.
out once. And I asked her if she could possibly give a bit more detailed report without compromising the content of it. I'll leave a message for him. Who she was leaving a message for, I've no idea, but she never got back to me.
She never got back to me either.
We did look into the reports actually, Gareth, and compared them, and the only thing that was difference from some of them, the date.
Yeah.
The date was the
The
same.
date was the same.
Yeah.
She didn't, but it was your report.
Yeah.
And I tried to say that, but, oh no.
Right, okay, let's not, no,
Gareth's back now. Gareth's back. Gareth's on duty. He knows what we want from him.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
Let's
if,
not look
if
back.
he ever wants to talk to me about it, I'll talk with him
And
about
we should
it.
say though that that's so better than what we've had.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you can see you've been sorely missed.
You've been missed.
Yeah.
I get to it's that thing. I could very easily put 8 shoppers and that's it. The reason I put M14 is that, you know, it's not the crime rate, it's not the crime rate.
No, I understand
The
that.
statistics look terrible, but it's because it's.
But it was nice to know how many were prosecuted, how many have
Okay,
been
thank
convicted,
you.
stuff like that. You know, burglaries 2.
I think you've
What's
got the
happening?
message. Can we bring in Councillor Small? He's got
Just
another
one quick question, Gareth, and it relates to the previous police report about arson at the White House, multiple vehicles being set alight, da-da-da-da-da. Was there a positive outcome from that in any way?
No, there was a lot of sore heads from scratches with that one. There's been a lot of work done. There has been some overt, some covert work done with that because we still don't know whether it's originally we thought kids, we thought private feud, or we actually thought it's somebody, not case mistake identity, but someone that was there that is now gone. So there is still some work being done in the background of that, but we don't know. No one is holding their hands up and saying it could be because of
There's a rumour that it was associated with spray painting of the White House and also spray painting at the station. Is that rumour true or?
Yeah, no, with the spray painting at the White House, possibly not on this.
Not at the station, right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Councillor Smith.
Yeah, just one, you mentioned about this new officer.
Yes,
What rank are they?
PC.
PC. And their name?
James Morser, Moser, who will be,
Shall we see him?
if required, yes, obviously if required, you'll see any of them. It's a beat team. There are 5 PCs, there are now 6 PCs and 5 PCSOs. So there are 1 for each of the wards in Brunswick, plus an extra PC. She's been moved, she's been moved off Lacey Green and Style, which is where James will be going. Catherine will have responsibility for the prison because that's its own beast, but will also be used proactively where and if we need them for background school or all it is PCSOs were a bit more, we've got our areas that are very protected of them. The PCs do go where they need, but they are obviously aligned to these as per the PCs.
Okay.
Good to have you back.
Certainly is. Thank you very much for that. Okay, agenda item 2518, is to receive a report from the Chair of Hannaford Town Council, which is me. So here we go. Hopefully this will answer a couple of your queries that you brought up a while ago. After meeting with Chris Gear and the group for the Valley Drive Green Space Group, we had an update from Cheshire East with a beautiful plan of what they suggest is appropriate for that. Did you circulate that plan or did I ask you to?
Oh, thank you. You know, I did all that.
Well,
I probably didn't.
why would you do that? Because it's actually excellent and was very pleased to see that the response was very quick from Cheshire East. I think it was less than a month and it came back and Ruth made me comment that they were so pleased that somebody was so enthusiastic about a green space that they wanted to work with him and get on board and get things moving as fast as they possibly could. So perhaps you can have a look, Ashley will
I'll send you
circulate that. I'm now receiving information from Cheshire East regarding grants that can be applied for in regard to these green spaces, and passing them on to the group and to Ashley, because some of them are appropriate things that the council might be able to apply for. On the back of the original meeting with Ruth Morgan and Chris, I had a meeting at South Park in Macclesfield with Ruth Morgan last week to see the work that Cheshire East have done there. I don't know if any of you have ever been to that particular park, but it's huge, and they've done some absolutely incredible work there. I believe part of it used to be a golf course, and they've created, within various areas, they've created these pockets of grassland. So they've mown all round where the paths are, and then left these beautiful grasslands in the middle, and there's wildflowers coming from them and all sorts of things. And the bedding, they've got all annual, perennials, not annual, and it looked absolutely fantastic. And I'm hoping that Ruth and I can work together to improve a lot of our green spaces around here. I was very pleased to see what they've done. It also made me think about Handfuls and what we can do here, and putting in sustainable planting with regard to our planters. And I'm going to formulate a plan, not necessarily to get rid of all the annual things, but to have some more perennials in there so we can build around them and not have to have so much work for our handyman, because it's very difficult now to water these planters. We have to use the water from here, which will become an issue once we take over the building, because we are actually on a water meter. My suggestion to Ashley was that certainly Waterkill would be happy to put in a water butt. The council will buy the water butt, which should be able to help with making the watering a bit easier, so that they're nearer to the planters, rather than them having to come here and fill up the van and take them all round. That won't work for some of the planters a distance away, but I have a suggestion that we might have a look and see if there are any businesses anywhere else who would be prepared to do that. So I will come back to you in September with a report on that. Unfortunately, I have to report that we had a thief who stole all the plants from the barrier planters near Spath Lane, Pinewood, and some from the planter near the lights of the doctor's surgery. We can't find any footage on the CCTV of the vehicle on the night in question, and we don't know when the one near the doctor's was done, so when that was actually done, whether it was the same night. There is a picture that was sent in by a neighbour, and it was taken while this man was stealing the plants. Beautiful picture of the car, but unfortunately you can't make out the registration, and it would appear that he or she, it's a he I'm sure, did not come into the village, so wasn't picked up on any of our cameras, so where he disappeared to, I don't know. We don't know when the other plants went, whether it was before or afterwards, and I'm sorry to say that I simply do not have time to trawl through 7 days, 10 days of footage to try and find somebody who's stolen the plants. Simply haven't got the time, and neither is Ashley. So if anything comes up, if anybody comes up with any more information, then we'll have another look.
Was the actual container taken, or
Sorry,
just the plants dug out?
Just the actual plants, and then
There's a line, there's a line there.
Yeah.
I think it's the second tier, one of the lights was emptied. Mindless vandalism.
Was any image checked at the camera that's up near Spath Lane? The one that's near the,
You mean the police camera?
yeah.
It faces the other way,
Yeah.
it faces
It
towards.
doesn't look that way, it faces north. We have a plan, which will come in September. We had a very successful repair cafe a week last Saturday. There were 55 customers, 33 repairs were made, and represented a saving of 493 kilograms of CO2, saved that from going into landfill. It was not as busy as usual, because at the end we had a lot of cakes left over, which has been donated by the members of Transition Winslow, and normally it's empty. So there weren't as many people there. I don't think it was advertised as well this time. We will get on with that, but it was it was successful, and I think the council should put their minds to it and support Transition Winslow on this, because they do some amazing repairs. People brought chairs and tables and all sorts of things, and most of them repair successfully because they have some specialist people there who do all sorts of amazing things. So we should support it. I'm hoping in the months to come that Transition Winslow will be able to help Christia and the Valley Drive group with the tree planting. This transition, excuse me, my voice is a bit croaky, with the tree planting now, because we're looking to do a plant this autumn, and Transition are accepted by Cheshire East and allowed to plant in our park, so we don't have to go through and ask council to do it. So that's an ideal situation. There was an exhibition of the plans for the new cycle lane at the library last week, and I went along to see what they had to say. The cycle lane is on one side of the road, not the best way to do it in my opinion, but unfortunately I was told that the width of the road prevented having a cycle lane on either side. It just doesn't fit because the road isn't wide enough. The work starts at our end, at the northern end, sometime in early August, and will go on for at least 6 months. The whole of the road is going to be resurfaced at the same time, so they'll be doing it piecemeal. The road will be obviously closed off, and but there will be access through, and there will be access at all times to the businesses. There will be traffic restrictions in place. So be warned, it's going to be difficult. However, there were quite a few residents there who came along, and there seemed to be a mixed response, but I welcome what they're doing. I don't necessarily agree with the way they're doing it, but they're the planners, I'm not, and leave it up to them.
Where's this from and to again?
Sing it.
Where's it from and to?
It goes from the lights here by the Freemasons.
Freemasons, yeah.
All the way through to what was the BMW garage.
Down at the, yeah.
It's that area there.
So it's the left-hand side where all the cars park down the road.
Yeah.
So they'll all go and park on the other side of the road now.
When the work's going on, they will not be able to park there, nor will they be able to park there once the cycle lane is built, because there's a barrier, if you like, so they can't
putting the bollards
over it. Yeah, so they won't be able to park there.
But won't they just park on the other side of the road?
Well, this was one of the things I brought up and came up with several suggestions to Cheshire East about perhaps Cheshire East could fund a cheaper parking ticket for those people who work in the businesses. I said we were going to have displacement and upset residents, as you have heard from the lady there about Sagars Road. I'm afraid it all fell on deaf ears.
Possible.
But I think once the situation starts and we end up with it all, then perhaps ward councillors and the council can get together and try and get something done about it. Because I think it's just going to be a nightmare for local residents.
We've brought five members of the traffic parking and traffic department to Handforth about 2 or 3 months ago, because they come up with their ideas for where the excess parking will be able to use. One of them was the Boulderhead car park. One of them was the track that goes from the farm shop down into the fields. One was the flats down on the corner here, the new flats, which are access controlled. The Railway Hotel car park, the car park where we live, and we took them to all these places and blew them out of the water, sort of thing. But then we took them down Saviour's Road as well, because they were suggesting we have double yellows on the left. And I said, well, there's no room for it. They thought there was a footpath on the left as well, going down Saviour's Road. Well, that's not all of it. There was more pointed out. Yeah, where it's going to all go to. And they were due before the say that.
Summer break.
No, there's not. I lost my track there with that falling off. The different places where the excess parking will be. They should have gone and spoken with the garages, the showrooms who are having this work done and whose employees are those who park there. And they were going to be getting in touch with those. I've not had any notification back yet, but they've actually had any response.
I get the distinct impression that it's our problem and they're not really interested, I'm afraid.
Some are genuine.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll wait and see. I'll carry on. I do welcome what they're doing, and I hope that those who wish to cycle will feel safer using the new network. Because there are lots of people who would like to bike, but after that awful accident, there are lots of people who just don't want to get on their bikes, so hopefully we'll make them feel a lot safer. If the council passed the agreement for the overarching green group, I had a very productive discussion with Ruth Morgan, who loves the idea and is keen to work with us to get things moving in Hunthorpe. And we had a chat about lots of things that need to go on. I'll be presenting the big check over the next few weeks to the recent groups the town council has supported, and the photos will be uploaded to Facebook and the council's website. I haven't been able to do it because I have had to isolate in the last few weeks for personal reasons. I'm happy to say that Gareth came to see me the other day, and we had a very productive discussion about his 6 months off. Was it 6 months? 6 months off, and how he loved being a father, and we got into all of that, and then discussed all the issues and problems that we have around the village. And I'm hoping he'll pop in regularly and have a chat with me, because there's quite a lot of things going on that I need to update you on. I've been invited this week to have a meeting with the residents about the Pentacore occupation at the northern end of the village, and so I am going later on in the week. They've asked to speak to me, and I'll be listening to their concerns and issues. Peter, myself and Luke intend to do some sampling of residents' opinions about a number of issues. One is Pentacore. There are a few other things as well. And so over the next few weeks and over the summer, we'll be out and about in the paddock and around to just test the temperature, I think, of people, ask their opinions and see, you know, how they're feeling about things. And I will also be trying to raise some support for Lotta's petition for peatlands. For those members who weren't here before, at the Transition Wunslow Repair Cafe, Lotta, who is a Wunslow councillor, has persuaded Esther McVeigh to put forward in the House of Commons a petition about protecting the peatlands in and around Wunslow. So if you haven't signed this, if you support it, would you please sign it? It's one thing I'll be taking around and getting residents to support. And that's about it. It's been a very busy few weeks going to see people and chatting and doing things. So hopefully we'll have a bit of a quiet summer because we will not be having a meeting, of course, in August. We'll meet again in September. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them.
When did you say it was going to start the work on the Winslow Road?
When's
the work going to start on the park?
Well, I was told the beginning of August, but probably the second week of August, but it's very flexible. It depends whether other things overrun as to whether they have the workforce or not, but sometime in August. So it will go on August, September, October, November, December, into January. And I think beyond, because these things never take the time that they say they're going to, they always go over.
I just put a second week over.
Yes,
Okay, thanks.
Stay on that point, the cycle lane, is it going to be portion for ours now?
Is it going to be?
On the side of Porch Road or would it go
It's on the side of the garage, the horse garage, and it's both ways on one side.
You'll go down to the
I know, sorry.
where there's usually a flood.
Yeah, where it floods, yeah, exactly.
So myself and Chris Shannon were having a conversation with the library, and they're looking into, as Chris put it, why not fix it while you're there?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully they will, because they're doing the whole resurfacing of the thing, so they are aware of the issues.
Yeah, we also pointed out the.
We don't want another bypass situation, do we? No. Where it just becomes.
It just needs the grid unblocking, and the river the water can just flow out the road and into the river.
I know.
There is problems with that.
I was going to ask a question, but or make a comment, but I think it happened in the last meeting with all the problems with parking which are going to occur once the parking on that piece of road is removed. I wondered whether it was an opportune time to stir up Cheshire East Council to provide us with the station car park. My reason for feeling that is strengthened now by the recent planning application that's gone in for the Garden Village, where they are planning to build 106 homes, new homes, off Dairy House Lane. We were told in the past that it would require the first 150 homes to be built on the Garden Village site before development of the station car park could be considered. So that's only another, what is it, 100 another 40 odd houses or whatever.
Whilst I share your ambition in that response with
I think we
Dave,
built.
I doubt very much whether any of these people would use that car park. They don't use the current car parks. If you go to the one opposite Rick Green's now, it's, well, I think I went there the other day and there were about 15 cars in there and the rest of it was empty. They could all get on there, but I have to empathise with them. Who wants to pay an extra £25 a week?
Yeah.
I mean, it's ludicrous.
Yeah.
It's £100 a month. I don't know where Cheshire East, well, I'm sorry, but they're not thinking straight.
No, they are.
So I feel that they'll look at not very kindly now on that application, because they've now got figures from the car parks which are greatly underused, and I just think, I know it says it's part of, it was originally part of, I just question whether they'll do it at all, quite frankly, because the question will be, we've already got two car parks and they're not fully utilised.
We've got Cheshire East to change it, because the School Road car park had a listing on the sign there that says free after 3.
Yes.
And they did that for people picking people up from the school. So it's not been there since 1981.
It's what?
It's not been there since 1980 odd. But we suggested that they put the free after 3 sign up on the Winslow Road car park, because there is a gymnastics club in the old
Pomfret Hall.
Yeah, Pomfret Hall. Yeah, Cypress Hall. Where there's about 500 visits per week by cars.
Oh, really?
So what we suggested to them is we changed it now, so that it's on that car park on Willow Road, so that anyone dropping people off aren't blocking off where people live on South Acre Drive. And that's now actually taking place, so that after 3, they can do the pick up and drop off.
Can I respectfully ask that if you come up with any more of these suggestions, can you link us in and perhaps ask us for anything that we might be able to suggest, which might be different ideas to what you've got, and we can then put these proposals to them, because I think we've got a major problem heading our
Oh
way.
yeah, we know that. That's why we pointed it out to them with what you're trying to do, with where the runoff's going to be, which is, and they run away.
Tell me about it. Anything else? Yes.
Yeah, I'm just thinking ahead, because I can see that the bike issue is going to still continue to be an issue. Is there any way we can force people to use the bike lane if they are on the road with bike? Because they're going to continue to use the road, the usual suspects. And if you're going to put something in, irrelevant to the fact that it's for a safety measure, it's not going to be used. It's still going to put cyclists.
Well, if you
In
compare
fact, it's
it,
going to emphasise the risk by pushing them further over and cars closer to the bikes.
well, this will be a bespoke cycling lane. It's not being paid for, by the way, by Cheshire East. It's all been funded with outside money. It is a proper cycle lane and therefore should be used by everybody. It's not like that, the cycle lane that's been put in at the north end of the village, which in my opinion is absolutely ludicrous. It's not divided off so you can have pedestrians and cyclists. You see professional cyclists, they don't go on it at all, they stay on the road. But then I can't say I blame them, because it's so badly signposted. And if they don't do something, and I keep asking this question all the time, if they don't do something about that, where the road suddenly disappears into the bike lane and onto the pedestrian way, and put some signage there, or a big yellow box, and it's a bit of paint, for God's sake. I'll go and get a tin of paint myself and paint it, because the other day I was driving behind somebody, and they obviously didn't know the road, and they literally got, there was the corner of the road, and they went like that. If they hadn't spotted it, they'd have gone straight up. If there'd been a pedestrian there, they'd have been killed. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I can't get anybody to do anything about it. I've asked the ward councillors, and they're trying to push it. I've been pushing it, but it's just dangerous. So yes, I do hope people use it. What enforcement can be used, I have no idea. But I'm hoping it's a proper cycle lane, therefore people will take advantage of it. That's all we can do.
So what happens if you're in a car and you go on the cycle lane?
You can't, well, you can't, because
it's going to be blocked off.
blocked off.
It's not concrete.
You know, there's
It's
little raised
It's a new
things.
synthetic
Right.
block. Yes, you put that along this line. Cars can't get in, but there's also wands in it.
Right.
To stop them.
And the speed limit, by the way, is being reduced to 30 miles an hour because of the width of the road and the now with the cycle path is there, the road is very much narrowed, so the speed limit will be 30 miles an hour. I'm hoping we're going to have to put the thing down there, aren't we, to encourage people, but that's all we can do.
Yeah, can you just clarify, going from Antwerp Village towards Winslow, the cycle lane is going to be on the Bull's Head side?
Yes, on the
North and
Bull's
south.
Head side, yes, north and south.
And also the pedestrian.
There's a pedestrian there are 2 pedestrian crossings. There's one near the farm, and there's one further.
It's not just pedestrians though, isn't it? It's for cyclists.
It's for cyclists.
That side.
That's right.
Well, it's both really, isn't it? It's for cyclists to cross over.
Right.
And then I think there's another one at the southern end, isn't there?
There's one
By the garden centre.
Stanlands Road.
Yeah. So it's quite a complex.
So the footpath is still staying?
Yes, the footpath stays.
Right.
But everything is on that
Are they
side.
reducing the footpath outside Stratton's and Ferrari Are they taking anything off the footpath to make the
I
cycle
think they'll
lane?
be taking a little bit of the footpath,
Because it's a big
but
wide
that's,
footpath.
that's why, yes, there's a fair bit that they can do, but that's why it's all on that one side, because it doesn't take up as much road space if you do a north-south as it would do if you put one on the one side and one on the other side of the road.
So the one on the
That
other
would-
side's being demarked.
Yeah, so that, there's nothing on the
Right.
farm side, it's all on the other side of the road. So we'll just have to see, I mean,
So
better
that's
people
where-
than I have designed
That's where
it,
we're going to
so,
park on the farm side of the road then.
no, because there's double yellow lines there, isn't there?
No,
No,
no, it'll all,
Is there a yellow
no,
line at all?
no.
Well, they certainly won't be able to park there during building works. But what will happen after that, I don't know. As I say, it's going to present a huge problem.
Then you know, what's replacing these double yellows, the fact that you've got this block that car wants to go on it, it's gonna have to go over it, and they're not gonna be able to do that. It's like having a concrete block.
You know, you talk about double yellows up near the bike shop, Rick Green Cycles, and running down that way. There's no double yellow lines down there,
not down the hill.
No. on that side of the road, so everyone will park down there.
But they can't park there because they can't get over that block.
No, there's no block on that side of the road.
Oh, at the moment?
No.
Yeah, but once it's done, they won't be able to park.
No, there won't
No,
be any.
on the
no,
other side of the
There won't
road.
be any on the farm side.
On the farm side,
There's nothing
on the
there.
garden centre
There's
side.
no cycle path on that side. It's all on the
the
garage
The
side.
cycle
of
path
the
will be
road.
taken up.
So
And
that
all the people that park
potentially
there.
will be available to park, but it's going to be very iffy because the road's going to be quite narrow.
Yeah, that wasn't the impression I got from the consultation at the library.
You think they're going to put
I
double
thought they were
yellows?
putting something there to stop people parking.
Right. I can't honestly say that I saw that. You might well be right. It's probably worth asking.
But then where do all the cars then go and park? All on the housing estates.
Yeah.
You would hope they are, but I honestly can't answer that question.
Okay, thank you.
So sorry about that. But we can perhaps ask the question and see what they're doing about it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay. We shall move on. Yeah? Right. Agenda item 2518.8 is a motion for all Hamble Town Council members to consider any project which they might wish to undertake in the next financial year. These to be approved at the September HTC meeting with a view to inclusion in the 26-27 financial year budget. Budget to be set in October 2025, along with any necessary adjustment to the precept to reflect these projects. So it's not up for discussion. I want you to go away. You've got all of August now until the next meeting in September. If you want to bring the project, which is going to cost the council money, then you need to come with the plans, the organisation, the costing, and present those in the September meeting, so that if it's approved by the council, we can then look at the precept and decide, do we need to put the precept up because of this very worthwhile project, or can we use the budget as it stands? We can't do anything beyond. If you present a big project after September, then we would not be able to do it in the 26-27 financial year because there wouldn't be the budget available. So please have a long, hard think about it and bring anything in the September meeting. Send all your motions to Ashley a week before the next meeting so that he has time to get them onto the agenda. Councillor Small.
Chair, in view of the failure of our application to the National Lottery, should we be very conservative in our spending to offset against maintaining this building in a state fit for future use?
Yeah, please bring it to the September meeting and we'll have a discussion about it then and perhaps discuss further grants and ways we can raise money. So if you put that forward as a motion.
At the moment, the grant scenario for works of this kind is like a desert, barren
Well,
desert.
there are other ways and means of doing it, so
Yes.
if perhaps you have a discussion with Ashley and put forward a motion on the September agenda.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes.
Perhaps we could have a discussion with the guys from the trains, because they have been actively looking for grants, substantial grants, which they weren't able to do because they didn't have a lease. And now that they've got that lease, they're going around various places where they're looking for grants in the thousands rather than 1,000 from the town council in a few months. So that might be a source to discuss with.
Okay. Well, bring them all to the September meeting, please.
Well, do you want to have a little sort of taster of what we're looking at from people
For the September meeting.
for the September meeting?
In what way?
Well, you have a certain idea,
I've got one.
and you've got one.
I've got one.
I think there's a few ideas around the table that
Do you want to just
to put forward some general
Okay,
ideas,
well, one of the.
which I can then send you from
Very generally, one of the, well, it'd be the next agenda item actually, which is coming up. In our young man over there put forward about Parsonage Park. I've been doing some research into grants that are available and groups that are available to do upgrades to playgrounds, and both Merriton Road Park and Parsonage Park are exceptionally badly served. I think that Stanley Hall Park is very well looked after, and as far as I'm aware, I don't think, but I haven't been recently, so I'll stand to correct it, but I want to put forward to the council a project to actually take on a grant to do to refurbish the parks, the play parks. We could do it. It will probably need 50 pence a pound on the per person on the precept. But at the end of the day, Cheshire East have no money to do any of these things, and so that's one big project that I will be bringing in the September meeting.
Can I just say, I will certainly object to my precept going up, because we've done our part on our estate. We had a group of volunteers. We went to a group called Groundwork and Cheshire East. Cheshire East had no money whatsoever, although they did send us Hillary. Do you remember her? And she was quite content. If we gave her the grant application, she'd apply for it. Well, we already had a wonderful grant applicant, and we raised over £100,000, and our park is beautiful.
Well, it is.
So you need to get a Friends of Merriton Road Park, a Friends of
Well,
Parsonage Park.
we're going to discuss that. At the
Yeah,
next
but
meeting.
I'll object.
Well, that's fine. That's your.
Well, I'm just going to tell you,
prerogative.
because if you want the residents to be included, you need to get them on board without the
Well, it's
council
one of the reasons we're going
dictating
to ask
them,
people and talk
you know.
to them over the summer. Because when I go into Merriton Road Park and Parsonage, all I get is, we've got no play area here, we've got no.
Well, tell them to do something about it, like they came to
Well,
us.
it might be we can apply for grants. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there is.
I'm just telling
There's
you
loads
the
of
bare
them.
bones of it. I wouldn't have brought it up if Ashley hadn't asked me to. And so it's a very, at the moment, there's no meat on the bone. But it could be, we have to put precept up. It won't be by very much, but it could be that we can get grants. I don't know. But we need to improve our parks is absolute.
Chair, can I just let you know that
One
we had-
second, one at a time.
we had a visit with two guys, Eddie Yoxall and his new sidekick, because the little roundabout at Merriton Road Park was damaged. We think it was done by someone with a moped.
Yeah.
Isn't it round? And also the basket swing. And he's coming up with the money should be coming up with the money to replace those two.
Well,
So
it would
brings
be
it
very useful if you could come up with and tell us what they are proposing and what they're going to put in, because that will obviously.
Well, it's to replace what was there.
Yeah, what we're doing, what I'm hoping to achieve. Because quite honestly, those two parks are a disgrace. Not just in the playground, the whole parks just need sorting out, but that's another issue. Yes.
Can I just ask, I thought Meriton Road had loads of funding that one, so where's that?
Meriton Road Park,
Yeah, because
in past times, it's had
do you
funding.
remember that they said, like, that, I know they've had the tennis courts done, but they were saying, oh, that they found loads of money into it, and I just, yeah.
Actually, that was nothing to do with Cheshire East.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is that if obviously they've already got money and they've plowed it in, is that like, and you're going to go and try and get more money to plow into it.
But I'm talking about all of our parks, I'm not just talking about Meriton Road Park.
I'm just saying, like, they've obviously got money to do that already.
Well, to be fair, Meriton Road Park, the last thing Meriton Road Park had was the money for the cherry trees. And that was from all sorts of people, but the council turned down their application to support their grant that they put in, because quite simply, they can't present accounts, we don't know anything about the group, we can't support them because they won't give us any information. I'll work with anybody who will give us information and is open and transparent, but unfortunately the group aren't. Yeah, well this is, if we can move on to the next agenda item, hopefully we can put some of those things to bed. Is that okay? So please think seriously over the summer.
Sorry, can I mention what I was having?
Yeah, oh yes, go ahead.
So we were thinking obviously on Sunday, V-Day. So we went to an Armed Forces Day in Crewe, over Armed Forces Day, and we thought if we could maybe make that annually instead in the village, because we do all represent veterans and we are very heavily. And these said we've been talking, and we think that if we could get, you know, a proper stage this time and invite local talent to come and like showcase their own talents to people, especially, you know, because there's so much talent in Hamburg and we don't know about it.
Fine, bring it to the September meeting and come up with some costings, because we have to then budget for it. So it's important that you get the costings in there so that we know what we're doing. Bring it to the September meeting and we'll put it to the council.
Just to alleviate a little bit of pressure for you, we're looking at getting sponsorships this time on top of the local businesses getting involved so that they can subsidise the cost.
Yeah, we'll come with some details and we'll put it to the council. Super, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Chair.
Sorry.
I'm looking at seeing what we can do to assist the library.
Right, okay.
That's
Good, got a good spread of you know, the covering all sorts of things, because we support lots of local groups, so now we need to do more infrastructure and things within the village, so that's brilliant. All got different ideas there, super. Okay, let's move on to agenda item 25.18.9, which is to agree to the creation of an overarching handful of open spaces group. The group to form a working group under the banner of HTC, but would operate independently of the council to assist in the maintenance of all Hungerford open spaces. This is the motion put forward by me. We've talked for a long time about looking after all of the green spaces in Hungerford, so that part of the places like Parsonage Park and the little park near you, Luke, that they all get treated fairly, because at the moment a lot of them just, I know Stanley Hall is different because you've got a very good group of people who look after it, and that's wonderful. But we can still do things, we can still help with Stanley Hall Park. I want to create a group that has residents on it, and I've got people who want to come on it, but it's led by the council so that it's kept within our control. We can apply for grants, there's all sorts of grants available for parks. They're being thrown at me on a daily basis and I'm passing them out to people. So I would like to get this group agreed. We have talked about it before, we have agreed it, but I don't think we've agreed it formally, which is why I brought it forward. And I would welcome anybody, any residents who want to come on, to come and help, just to put their names forward and come and join us, because we need to get it going and we need to look after Handful, which is in some areas not being looked after. So approval from you all would be gratefully received. Have you got any questions?
Chair, are you looking for financial support by the council?
Well, we might need financial support, but I'm hoping that with my conversations with Ruth Morgan the other day, she wants to get some planting sorted out. There are free trees from all sorts of different places, but it needs to be organised. There are grants we can apply for. So we might need to come to the council for some funding. As yet, I don't know, because we haven't formed the group. I've got some ideas, but I just want the council to approve it, and then we can start improving the green spaces that are currently neglected. Yes.
These grants, how much money would you usually get?
Well, each grant, they come to Cheshire East and then they're forwarded to me. They come from all sorts of places, mostly government based things. Some are charities that will give money, and they'll say we'll give you £2,000 or we'll give you up to £6,000 or whatever. They're all different amounts of money and they're all aimed at different things. So you might get quite a lot that you can use in the park. So, some of them, they are for very specific things. So there was one this morning about scientific development in areas, and it was up to £2,000. So you've got to pick them very carefully, but there's lots of them about. So I'm hoping that with the help of Ashley, we'll be able to apply for some grants.
Would you be able to, you know, with your groups that you want to form, would you be able to include the kids?
Absolutely,
absolutely. They'll be able to tell you what they want.
Parks are there for the kids as well as the grown-up. So yes, we want to have representation from residents across the board. So yes, children are very welcome, provided they're well behaved. But yes, absolutely. Any more questions from anybody? Okay, can I propose that we form this group then, and can I have a seconder? Thank you. Got those? All those in favour? Thank you. Anybody abstaining or objecting? Okay, motion passed. Thank you. Agenda item 25/1810 is to receive an update on the plans for the installation of the 2 new access lifts at Handful Station. Councillor Small, if you could make it concise, Councillor Small, we're running a bit late.
Yes, I'll make it as concise as I can. I'm always learning about the processes of planning applications, both from the young man on my left and now from Network Rail, who submitted a prior notification to Cheshire East Council for the planned works for the lifts on the station. Now, what does that mean in essence? It means that Network Rail essentially can do almost whatever they like on railway land, almost, with one exception. They have to submit prior notification of their intent to the local borough council, who will deliberate on the plans. And the only thing that the borough council can do is to look at the plans and say, no, you can't have the lifts there, you can have them there. Now, if you think about the lifts planned for the station, they certainly can't go there, they have to go there. So Cheshire East have deliberated for several weeks and decided, no, they don't need prior notification, and a decision notice is that no prior notification is required. The lift can only go where the lifts can go. That's it.
Thank you very much. I believe there was an incident at the station where a train broke down. We had to evacuate all the passengers.
So I understand. I didn't witness it, but I was told that the train was evacuated people came back up onto the concourse and made lots of complimentary comments about the HTC owned and the Friends owned floral planters there. I forgot to say one other thing. The Friends of the station have agreed that if neighbours of the station complain about the proposed works, that they simply be referred to Network Rail or Cheshire East Council. And I would advise members of this council to do likewise if they receive complaints from, let's say, people living in the carriages or the block of flats on the other side of the station. Simply refer those complaints to Network Rail and Cheshire East. Network Rail, I don't think are going to tolerate any prevention, any comment that will try and prevent the development going ahead.
When is it taking place?
Good question. We think that some work will start towards the end of this year.
Okay.
But that, I think, will be fairly minor things like removing vegetation and so on. But thereafter, there will, I think, be a public consultation, and then the works will commence in earnest.
Not long past.
Yeah, just taking up what Roger says, there is an individual who lives in the carriages who, in a long conversation with Julie, was telling us about what we need to do about plans. We've got much better plans, and these need to be implemented. One is to have access on the northbound. Access to the station from the northbound side via South Acre Drive, which going back 5-6 years was a non-starter. He's also saying that on the southbound side that you could have a access alongside where myself and 36 other apartment holders live. What he didn't seem to realise is that there was initially going to be a gap in between the floors, but there is a gap there, right where he lives, so that he could have people walking through their garages. He's also complaining about the fact that put the station, they're in the wrong place as well, I'll point that out, the lifts are in the wrong place, and that because people could look from there and look over at their houses in the carriages.
Referring to Network Rail,
We did.
there's nothing we can say or do about anything because we can't influence it.
But what he didn't seem to understand was this has been going on for 6 or 7 years, and it has been gone 20 odd years that it's been required. So watch out for.
Yes, well, not much we can
Could
do about that one.
Could I also add that in addition to the lifts going in, there have to be various safety provisions. One of those is going to be a gate between the northbound platform and South Acre Drive, and the other one is going to be an access gate from the southbound platform between the carriages and Ferndale. And I know that's got to be negotiated by Network Rail with the owners of the land, this, that, and the other. And then on top of that, there has to be provided 2 escape areas. Envisage the situation where an intercity train comes into Handforth Station and it's ablaze from one end to the other. The passengers on the train have to be evacuated into a safety area. So there will be one of these safety areas on the southbound platform, probably at the southern end, and similarly on the northbound platform. Large escape areas, safety areas.
Okay, well, we can refer them to Network Rail because we can't do anything about anything at all there. Next agenda item at 25/18/11 is to receive an update from the Communications Working Group. Councillor Peter Moore Harrison.
Yeah, so you've got it in the agenda, we've got a bit of an update.
It's in the bottom file.
Basically, over summer, we're looking at doing a greenbelt survey. Obviously, it's in response to the plethora of applications we've got in the greenbelt, just to get a bit of a feel for how people feel, to make sure we're doing the right thing in terms of planning stuff. So that'll be both in person and online. We're hoping to hold at least two consultations a week in the paddock. And at the same time, we'll probably have a few other bits sort of co-locating with it, so we might sort of have a chat with people. And another one, just which Peter's been working on, is more regular posting of just general information on social media. So I think one that Peter's got in the works is defibrillator information, just making sure we've got that relayed and knowing, training people, that kind of thing. I'll try to get on that one because I'm not too sure. But yeah, if anyone will be interested in coming to the consultations, just let us know. Myself and Peter will be there.
Lovely, thank you very much. 28/18/12 is received notice and correspondence. Do you have any?
The only bit is obviously our national lottery application was declined.
Yes, unfortunately, but we didn't hold out.
We didn't hold out much.
And I do thank you again, Councillor Small and Ashley, for putting together. It was a very long application and sadly didn't come to fruition, but there we are. Agenda item 25/18/13 is to agree the date of the next HTC full council meeting, which is to be held on the 9th of September 2025 at 7 p.m. So have a lovely summer, enjoy August, have your month off, and come back fresh with your ideas for things for the coming financial year, 26/27, in September. Please remember to get everything into Ashley a week before. Thank you very much.
Except planning committee members.
Sorry?
Except planning committee members.
Except.
Planning committee members. We're running an extraordinary meeting.
Oh, yes, sorry, there is an extraordinary meeting for the planning.
Yeah.
Apologies about that.
Yeah.
You're not right. Yeah.